Hi, and welcome back to our LegalDin YouTube channel, where we're all about educational videos and learning. Today's video will be about the child or minor travel consent form. But before we begin, if you learned something from this video, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell to become a part of the LegalDin world. Also remember, this video is for educational purposes only and is not meant to be a substitute for an attorney. If you should have any questions, you should consult with an attorney. Let's go ahead and start right now. When you come to the LegalDin homepage, you'll see there's 4 categories: estate planning, family, finance and business, real estate. Right under the family section, you'll see the child travel consent form. Let's go ahead and click on that. It'll bring you to a page where it allows you to select your state. This way you'll have a customized document for your state. Now before we begin, let's discuss what is a child or minor travel consent form. It's usually used typically when a child under the age of 18 years old will travel domestically or internationally without a parent or guardian accompanying them. This can be used when either the child travels alone or with another adult who is not a parent or guardian, such as traveling with an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, cousins, or when they travel, let's say, for a school trip with teachers, organizations, camps, religious groups. And also many times when parents are divorced or separated, this form is used when one parent is traveling with the child. And this can be helpful because when you're traveling, especially internationally, an immigration officer or locally, domestically, an airline personnel, TSA may ask for this letter of consent to make sure, hey, like what's going on, who's traveling with the child. Now, let's outline the pieces of information that you'll need in order to create the form. So you'll have it in front of you once you're doing the form. You'll need to have the child or children's full legal name as it appears on their birth certificate or passport, date of birth, the state where the birth certificate was issued, their birth certificate number, and passport number if available if they're traveling internationally. And then it'll ask you about who is the minor traveling with. Now that could be another adult. You'll need their full legal name and address, or if it's an organization, a camp, that you'll need their full entity legal name. In addition, the form will also ask you, does the child have any medical conditions, allergies, and you should identify that in the form. However, I want you to take note that the form does not allow the person who's traveling with the child to make any medical decisions. You'll need to fill out another form, which is called the minor medical consent form, so that the person traveling with the minor can seek and obtain treatment for the child if needed, God forbid. Now, I'll show you where that is on our site. It's really easily accessible, and you'll want to put both of these together if the child is traveling. Although it's not required to have the form notarized, it's still a good idea, and you're encouraged to get the form notarized. This can prevent issues establishing authority and credibility of your documentation, especially when traveling internationally. Now let's go ahead and select our state that we're in. We're in Colorado today, and go ahead. You'll get some information right here. You'll see a link. It says clicking here. This link will take you right to the minor medical consent form that I was telling you about. So it's good to fill this out with the child travel consent and have them together. Then go ahead. You'll see a button that says document instructions and download the document. That document instructions give you step-by-step directions, as we're doing in this video. And the document is there. Of course, it's always free. Go ahead, put in your email, and you'll download it for free. Let's go ahead and fill this out together. I or we, you enter the parent's name. So I'm going to enter my name and my husband. So both of you have to enter your name. Full legal names, of course. Then the address where we reside, 42. Make sure to put in your full address. Now here it gives you an option to put in your children's name. We give you slots for 3 children. If you have additional children, go ahead and fill out another form. You could put all your children on one form. You could make separate forms for each child. That's up to you. Make sure when you're putting in the name of your child, you put in their full legal name as it appears on their birth certificate and passport. So I'm going to put in my daughter's information. Fill out the questionnaires that ask you for gender, date of birth, place of birth, birth certificate number, state issued, and passport, and date passport was issued. Again, for the passport, that's if you're traveling internationally, put that in. If you're not traveling internationally, you don't have a passport number, just go ahead and put not applicable over there. So let's fill this out together. Place of birth, wherever your child was born. Birth certificate number, that could be a combination of letters and numbers or just numbers. Look it up on yours. State issued. Ours was in Colorado. That's usually the state issues where your child was born. So my child's not traveling internationally and does not have a passport, so I'm going to enter not applicable. And do the same thing on the date of issue. If there are other children traveling, go ahead and enter their name. Next section is the travel information and consent. So in this section, you'll give the name of the children. You have consent to travel to what location, for what dates are they going to, who they're going with, and where that person resides. So right now I'm going to put in my child. Sophia Smith has consent to travel to, she's going to visit her grandmother in Miami, Florida, and enter the dates that she's traveling. So she's traveling on these dates. Put in from when until when she's coming back. And who is she traveling with? So you'll put in the name of the person that they're traveling with. Remember, that could be a family member, it could be a camp, it could be anyone else who they're traveling with other than the parent or guardian. Remember, you need to put in their full address, put that in. Next section talks about international travel. Now, if your child is traveling internationally, you'll need the passport number and date of issue of the person who will be traveling with your child. Now, if only one parent is traveling with the child, subsection 3, that's in this situation a lot of times when only one parent is going with the child, then you'll have to say both parents agree to this and put in the parent's name, passport date issued, and following dates to go. Now, section B talks about when the child is traveling alone. This is when the child is traveling alone, will be meeting another guardian at the other side. So child's name goes right here. They're traveling to, leaving on this date, and returning on this date. You'll fill that out. The next section, section C, talks about allergies and medical conditions, as discussed previously. It's important to enter that information here. Be specific as to what conditions the child has. But again, be aware that this form doesn't give consent to seek medical care. You'll need to fill out the other form that I showed you called the minor medical consent form. Again, that's free right on our site. So my Sophia has allergies. So I'm going to write Sophia has a peanut allergy. So it's important to note that. Next section talks about the parent or guardian. Who are the parents who are giving the consent for the child to travel with? So go ahead. We're going to enter my name and their father's name. Put in our address just like we did above. Contact information. And here, primary contact number and secondary contact number, you'll enter that in. Go ahead and put your number and your husband, the other parent or husband's phone number as well. So let's fill that out together. And let's do the same thing. Opa. And you could always, fix if you type something in there wrong. We make it easy for you to edit and make sure everything's correct. And then you come to section 4, which is the last section. It's the signature dates. So you're going to sign, and you're going to enter the date as signed on this day of this month of this year. So I'm going to put in I signed on the 7th day of June. Enter the year that you're entering it in, the city and state where you're located that you'll be signing it. And you'll enter that in, right, just like that. And when you come to the signature blocks that are right here for parent or guardian 1, enter here, type in your names, and the signatures go on these lines. Now, if, again, you're having it notarized, which we give you a notary acknowledgement on the next page, don't sign until you're in front of the notary. Although, again, it's not required for your notarized form, it's still a good idea to do it, especially if traveling internationally. So you'll want to make sure if you are having it notarized to sign and print your names in front of the notary. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed our give us a thumbs up if you like, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. Thanks so much. Until next time.